Hello everyone. Well, once again, I'm going to just shoot right to one of my later experiences that I don't fully understand yet. Um, I had just was making another video on the YouTube. It ended up getting long, cut me off. I went to load that one. It would not load. And in the video, I was going to tell you, it's because people who have never experienced dreams or had a spiritual experience in their life, you know, and even to myself, these things were spoken against, and they speak against things. And, and it's a lot of them who've never experienced anything. They cast it off for evil or just, those who have experienced cannot put it aside. And you can't forget when you've experienced and heard and seen and, and that's part of my learning was through the experience, and it is through after I just put. It's part of my journey. It's part of, my trial. It's, and then, and I didn't understand these things. It was just part of things that was taken in. When you experience, they're just taken in. You don't understand, and I was telling you in the video I just made, I was starting at a younger age and working to, share with you some of the things that I have experienced and seen and, some happenings in my life. And, from dreams that I've had, that they tend to come true, but never exactly like the dream. I had shared a couple of those, and, just and protection, times when I've been protected, where after so much has happened, it's not coincidence. That wasn't a coincidence that that door wouldn't open. That kept you out of that wreck. That wasn't a coincidence that your son was taken out of the vehicle just before you was flipped 3-4 times in a truck. I've had protection in my life, and I just shared it all with you. But there's, in some dreams, there's dreams that I did not understand the meaning of them at the time, but now through understanding, you can now see what the meaning was, But I've had, and I was trying to just share these things with you, so you get, that's, those who have only heard man and heard what others have spoken, and they haven't experienced, those of us who have experienced, we're the ones whose minds have been opened because of the experiences, because of the things we can't explain ourselves. We have been shown there's more. There's things we don't understand. It is through that. That's what I was trying to, share with you so you get what's led me to where I am, And there's just so much. Just bear with me as I try to put these out. And I got to keep these short because every time I make a video longer than 15 minutes, it seems like my videos won't load. I've said so many things, and it's so frustrating when you speak and say things and try, just because I feel like there's some things I have to say first before I begin. And, and when you have taken in everything your whole life and now you're trying to share everything that you've taken in, it's not, it's, in the understanding that you've received through all of it. But I'm going to take you to the time when I had told you, when Revelation first began, and I had the other store. And there is a video, which I didn't really speak a lot on it, because I still don't fully understand it. I understand what the meaning of parables are. The true meaning behind parables, the parables. I understand the words of Christ. I understand what is written behind the letter. What is written in spirit. But I don't understand all of my experience. I don't understand everything of the universe and creation. I don't understand everything that I have seen and heard. But it is through the understanding I have that I know that I will. Now I have what I need to understand all these things. But that's why I haven't spoke on certain things a lot. But and this is where, if you want to see the video, which I didn't really speak a whole lot on it, I just kind of shared it when I had been awoken, and that's when I saw the tall being with the white hair and the gown, and was taken. It is My Strange Visitation. And that was the title of the video, My Strange Visitation. This is I was trying to take you on from beginning to end, just a few of my experiences and dreams and things that I've witnessed in my life. And I was going to get to this one, and I was going to, speak about it. Because I said long ago that I would do that, and I haven't told the experience yet. But anyway, and I don't understand it. So anyway, I hope something made sense. So after the experience, and again, the title is My Strange Visitation. But after the experience, which I don't know who that was yet, and I don't understand that fully yet. I'll just say that. But I know much was shown to me that day. But after it was done, I find myself in the bed like I had just gotten in bed. I wasn't quite laid down. It was like I was just getting ready to pull the covers up. I look down at my dog, who always is right next to me, and we don't move in the night. And he's at the end of the bed looking for a place to sleep, trying to get himself comfortable. And when I found myself back in bed and then my dog, I look at the clock, an hour had passed. And then all these things, that just happened, that I just witnessed, I wanted to write it down. I got out a journal and I started trying to jot it down. And as I was writing, I couldn't write fast enough because I was forgetting the things and I knew that I was forgetting it as I was, writing. So after I had written it, I got up knowing that I had 3 hours left till 4 o'clock in the morning. I always woke up at 4. And I knew I wouldn't go back to sleep. So I got up to go have coffee, which the store was a house we lived in. It was a big old farmhouse, I guess, and the front of the house, the downstairs, was our store. And I was sleeping in the back of the house. And so I got up to go make coffee. And we had a big window. And the whole front of the store was big windows. And I was standing there looking out at my canopy at my gas station. It was a gas station, convenience store. And, so I'm standing there having some coffee, looking out at the front of my canopy under where the lights were all at. And I had noticed, and I'm sharing this also because I want to see if anyone else, maybe. I don't ponder things that I don't understand, but I do want to share this. And maybe someone else has an understanding, of there's more that I don't understand. Just know that. As I comprehend and as I know I will understand this when, in full. But I don't try to understand. I look for the good, I look to understand good, and I look to use it in my life. I'm not trying to go seek out everything just to, I let the understanding come to me now. Because I have been filled with truth and much understanding. So as I go, it will be given to me what these things are and what they mean. So I'm sitting there looking out, and I noticed, there's my canopy out in front of me, and I noticed a shadow on my ground. Not right under the canopy, but to the side of the canopy. And so I see this shadow fluttering around, but it was a slow flutter. And when I look at it, because at first you see the lights and the moths are all fluttering around, and you can see the shadows of the moths. And I noticed this shadow, but it was like I was going slow like that. And it was on the ground, out to the side of the canopy on the ground. And when I look at it, and I'm like, and I was just sitting there watching it slowly flutter on the ground, this dark shadow. And then I thought, how is it so slow? Because the moths, and then I look at the moths, trying to spot what's making the shadow, because the lights from the canopy at night, I was trying to find what is making that shadow on the ground. And I look, and all the moths are just fluttering around, and I can see their little shadows here and there. And but I could not find. I was like, what is making that shadow? And I sit there, And that shadow was just, it was as if something was like a cloth or something was like just being held under a light, and the shadow was cast, and it was like just, that's how it was, just really slow on the ground, really just, but there's nothing that was making it. There was nothing up there moving like that. And I sit there and watched it a couple minutes, and you know, thinking maybe it would go away. I don't know, but because I could not figure out what it was, and could not, and so I decided I'm going to go out, and so I go outside, and I took my dog out with me, and so I'm still not being able to find it, and I'm standing right under the shadow. I stood myself right under it, nothing around, looking up. What is causing that shadow? And then I realized you're standing under some shadow now, you know, and I'm still baffled, and that's, I don't, you know, but I know there was no logical, there was nothing to cast, and I don't know today what was casting it. It was, but there's things that, you know, like I said, I don't understand the universe. I don't understand everything that is among us and with us. I don't know what that was. But this happened at the same time when my, you know, when, I don't know how long I had been receiving revelation, you know, if it was days or weeks. It's, you know, how I began to receive the revelations was, or epiphanies was, I would just be cleaning, you know, in my store, and a scripture would pop through my mind, and I would understand the meaning. It's like, that's what that means. You know, and like I said, I never wrote any of these things down, but it was just because I was so busy in my life. I wasn't expecting all this revelation and epiphanies to happen. I just took it in. But Stephanie, stop. You know, and what's so weird, there was more, and I don't want to play into more than it really was, because, you know, I don't know what that was, and just, I mean, if anyone else has ever seen anything like that, you know, I know I will understand in time. But so yeah, when I'm standing there, I'm thinking, you're standing under here, and you know, it's like that. You see that in the movies where you see something strange, and the woman always goes out. You don't go out there. Don't go out there to boogeyman. But but I don't understand. But I decided to walk. Oh, and that was the weird thing. I don't know if the dogs was barking then, but I decided to take Booger. It was a little small town. It was just one street that was on. There was houses on each side, and I mean, it was out in the country, so we just had this one street where the church down there, and just houses on this side, and it was a nice little town. But I liked it because I was from Indianapolis, the city, and it was a good change. You know, I almost stayed there. That's the same store we're trying to get going for our friend again, but so he can sell it or whatever, or take it back over, I don't know. But I went ahead and I decided to take Booger for a walk, and at one point I realized, you know, country roads way down, you could hear just dogs barking. Couldn't have been me, because I wasn't anywhere around there. They was all freaking, and this town is usually quiet, but all the dogs was freaking. I mean, they was barking at something, and I don't know what it was. But as I'm walking, you know, I heard them when I realized the dogs was barking, and mine didn't bark. That was weird too. That he would bark. He didn't bark at the dogs. He didn't pay no attention to him. But as I'm walking, and this is just it, I'm just sharing this. Maybe someone has feedback, but I realized that it could have just been how the lights cast. But I had just never seen this before. I'm walking, I look down at my shadow, and I have a shadow in front of me, and then I realize a shadow on the right of me and a shadow on the left of me. And I think I looked back to see if there was behind me, and I don't think there was one behind me, but I realized